Hello, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see basic animations. We will take one object and we will see how to make the animation by using the timeline. So first of all, I will create any object. So I will press Shift A. So let's say I can create a torus, for example. So now I have created the torus. And also we will open the timeline. So in order to open this, we can drag this so that we can see the timeline properly. So defaultly the timeline is like 250 frames. So if you want to increase, you can increase the time. So for this lesson, let it be like a default. Now what the thing is, what is animation? Like what the thing is now, if you want to change the positions, scale or rotation of any object, so we can use this timeline to make the animation. So for example, suppose if I want to move this torus from one position to another position with a specific time. So in order to do that, what we can do is first I will set the initial position. So in the animation, what we'll do is we will set the initial position and the destination. So what we have to do is first we have to set the initial, and laterly we have to move the timeline and we have to set the destination. So we'll see that. So first I will move to the initial position. So let's say I want this torus should start from here, and again it has to move to this position and it has to stop here. So what I will do is just I will move this the y-axis. Okay. So now here you can see the timeline, and also if you press space so that it will play animation. And now I will go to the first frame. So in order to go, you can directly drag, or else directly here you can type. So let's say if I type like 1, so that it will go to the first frame. So now in order to start the animations, we have to set the keyframes here. So in order to set the keyframes, what we need to do is we have to select the object and we have to press I. So that means like insert keyframe. And here you will get bunch of options. And here first we can see the location. So here we have in separate options for the rotation, scale, and here also there are other options. Suppose if you want to make an animation for location, rotation at the same time, we can do that. So here I will select this, the location. So see now when I select this I, and if I select the location, here it has been created the keyframe, and also see the location properties has been highlighted with this yellowish color. That means we have enabled the animation of this property. And also see here you can it has been created the keyframe. What is this is like the present location has been stored in this keyframe. So now what we have to do is first we have to decide the time. So let's say if I want to go to like 150 frames, let's say I will go to the 150 frames, and now we have to set the destination up to where you want to move this torus. So let's say I have decided the time, and laterly we have to move the object here. So I will press G and I will use the y-axis, so that let's say we'll put the object to here. And now again we have to press I, and we have to select this option location, so that again it will create one keyframe at this position. So now you can see if I play this, see now it has been created the animation. That means it is traveling from initial position to the destination. And in case suppose if you want to make the animation slow or faster, you can select this keyframe and you can press G and you can change the positions of this keyframe. So the less the distance, the animation will be faster, and if you place this keyframe very far away, then the animation will be slower. So see here you can press G and you can move. Let's say if I put this to 30 frames, now you can see the animation will be faster. Okay. So again, if I press G and if I move to like 240 frames, then the animation will be slower. So the speed of the animation depends on the distance between the keyframe here. So let's say suppose if you don't want to start the animation from very beginning, then you can move this keyframe to. So let's say if I press G and if I put up to like 50 frames, and let's say if I select this and I can move up to 150 frames, then now the animation will start after 50 frames. So you can see now 0 to 50 there are no keyframes. So when I press play, then the animation will start from 50 to 150. Suppose if I come to this 100 frame, now let's say in 100 frame, what I will do is I will move this object towards the Z axis, maybe in this way. And again, now I will press I and I will select the location. So it will create another keyframe. Now you can see it will go down and it will go up in the 100th frame and again move to down in the 158th frame. So in this way we can create the animation. So let's say for example, if you come to 70th frame and if I use G and I will move in the x-axis, let's say, and if I press I and select this location, now it has been created. So now see, it is going to this direction, again going to 100 and again it is going to down. So in this way we can create the keyframes. And also suppose if you want to move this timeline to the first frame and the last frame, we can use shift left arrow so that it will go to the first frame, shift right arrow, it will go to the end frame. So now we'll see for rotation. So for example, I will delete these keyframes. So when I delete these keyframes, now there will be no animation. And also if I want this object should be come to the center of this origin, as I explained in the previous classes. Now if I want to snap this object to the 3D cursor, we can press Shift S, and here there is an option selection to cursor. So now it is going to the center of the origin. Now we'll see the animation for rotation. So for rotation, let's say I will edit this object so that you can able to see how it is rotating. So what I will do is I will go to the tab mode and I will select this faces. So I will select some of the faces and just I will extrude this. Okay. Yep. So again, I will go to the object mode. Now we'll see. So now if you want to make a rotation, it's simple. So you have to select the object, we have to press I, and here there is an option rotation. So if I select this rotation, now it will create a keyframe, and see now the rotation has been highlighted with the yellow color. And now let's say suppose if I move to like 110 frame or something, and I will rotate this. So let's say I will rotate R, and also I want to rotate in Z axis, so I will press Z so that see now I will rotate this. And also see here now, suppose if you want to specify any angle, you can, suppose if I put it to like 1000 degrees, now see it has been rotated to 1000 degrees. And again we have to press I, click on this rotation. Now you can see if I play this, so it will play the rotation. See now it has been animated. So here also if you want to increase and decrease the animation speed, then we can select these keyframes and we can grab, like pressing G, we can move and just we can change the speed of the animation and this way. And also see here now the animation is starting slowly and also it's stopping slowly. So you can see now. So this is nothing but the animation is smoother. Now by defaultly in Blender, the animation will be smooth. Means like the animation will start a little bit slow and will end up with slow animation. Suppose if you want to start with the same speed and end with the same speed, we need to change the interpolation. So I will explain what is interpolation. So first of all, if you want to change the settings of this interpolations defaultly, so if you go to this edit option and if you go to the preference, and also if you go to this animation, here you can see the default interpolation is Bezier. Bezier is nothing but like an smooth animations. So suppose if you want to make the linear animations, linear is nothing but it will start with the same speed and end with the same speed. Depends on the situations, you have to select these interpolations. So for these lessons, I will explain only about the linear and Bezier. So defaultly it is Bezier. That means see now, if I play, it will start with the slow and it will end with the slow animation. So what the thing is, if you want to convert into linear, so for example, now we have to select these keyframes. Now, if you want to convert these keyframes into linear, then we have to select these keyframes and right click, and there is an option interpolations. And here we have to select the linear. So see now I have selected the linear. Now you can see the animation start with same speed and end with same speed. See, the animation has been suddenly stopped. So if you play now again, see suddenly it has been stopped. So if you convert into like Bezier, so for example, so right click interpolations and you can select this Bezier. Now you can see if I press play, now say it has been stopped slow. For better example, I will duplicate this object. Let's say I will press Shift D and I will move in the y-axis. Now you can see both are having the same animations. So for example, I will select this object and I will select these keyframes and right click interpolations. One, I will select the linear. So you can see the difference. So for this, I have given the linear, and for this, I have given the Bezier interpolation. So when I click play, see, so it's suddenly stopping, and it's the animation of this thing is very smooth. So this is the difference between the linear and Bezier. So just I will delete this. And also we'll go with the scale. So what I will do is I will just select these keyframes and you can delete. And now if you want to scale, just we have to press I. Again, we have to select the scale and we have to go to like 100 frames and we can scale this. And again, we have to press I. We can click on scale so that now we can see the animation like space. Slowly it's starting. And if you want to make faster animation, you can grab and you can move this. So you can press play in this way. So in case, suppose if you want to make all the animation at same time, so we will do that. So I will select this and I will delete and I will like scale to the default. And now in order to make an animation for all the properties, just we have to press I. And now we have to select this location, rotation and scale. So now when I select this, see now here all the modes has been highlighted. So let's say suppose if I go to the 98th frame and if I scale and also like if I move like holding y-axis and also I will rotate in the z-axis in this way. And again now again we have to press I, we have to select location, rotation and scale. So now you can see everything will happen at same time. It will rotate, scale and it will move. So in this way we can use this animations, and also we can scale the keyframes to for example what the thing is, suppose see if you select this keyframe and now let's say if I move this towards the Z direction and again press I and let's say I will select this, and suppose if I want to rotate now just grab and I will move to the y-axis and I will use a rotation in the z-axis in this way, and again we will press I, just this. So now see we have made this animation, so this animation, and now what the thing is, suppose if you want to convert this animation to fast or slow, so now as I said the speed of the animation depends on the distance between the keyframe. So now suppose if we have like more than 4 or 5 keyframes, it will be very hard for us to move each and every keyframe to make the animation fast and slow. In order to do that, instead of that, what we'll do is we'll select all the keyframes and we can press S so that we can scale the keyframes to very closer and far. So in this way we can equally distribute the keyframes, and also the scale depends on the positions of this time slider. For example, suppose if I want this keyframe should be here and the rest of these keyframes has to come to left side, then what I will do is I will place the time slider here and I will use the scale. Now it will scale only based on that point here. Just we have to move the up and down, see. So in this way we can scale the keyframes too. So if you want to increase and decrease the speed, and we can use this option like S and we can scale. And also if you want to make more detailed animations, here you can go to this option, like see if you go and here you can see there is an like graph editor. So if you see now you can see the graph. So we can make the smoother animations by using the graph editor. But for this lesson, this is fine. So we'll go back to the timeline. So that's it for this video. So this is a basic animations. If you want, you can explore it more. So see you in the next lesson.